Hi everyone, this is Tarana. Welcome to my video. This is going to be a New Year motivation video, so I hope you enjoy. So as you can see, I wanted to do something to help people to be motivated for the new year, inspired, and hopefully you guys will feel like that and move forward. Now with this, I've included 4 different aspects, which is resolution, hope, change, and optimism. Now these aren't the only 4, but I wanted to make sure to talk about these 4 in particular. But there are definitely more. I just didn't include all of them. I just included these. So for resolution, what I wrote was make goals, but make sure they are realistic. Sometimes we feel like such an ambition of making them unrealistic, and I know some people are very idealistic. I am definitely one of them. So that's why I'm saying to make realistic goals, because you don't want to feel like you can't achieve them or feel disheartened when you don't achieve them. The other one is they don't have to be made in the new year. What I mean by this is that because it's a new year, if you feel sometimes some people feel obligated to make resolutions and goals for the new year, you can do that if you want to. That's great. That would be, if that helps you to be motivated, inspired, then go for it, do it. That's really good. But just be sure to remember it doesn't have to be like that. You do not have to make goals for that year. You can do it all around any time of the year, whenever you feel like it. And so the other thing I wrote was in change. Now, in change, the first point I wrote was change is a good thing. Sometimes we may not like them, but they may be good for you. So, as some people do not like change because of their comfort zones, but sometimes it's a good thing to get out of your comfort zone. It helps you to move forward and develop yourself more better as well. So, I hope this helps you to understand that change may not be such a bad thing, even though some people are stigmatized to thinking so at times as well. So here, the other point I wrote was also New Year is like a new change. Each day is a new day. You won't get that date back just another year. What I mean by that is that you will never get this same day back again. And by that I mean like this. You will never get 1st of January 2018. You will just get 1st of January, but a different year. So make sure that you continue to understand that concept and maybe even make goals. Again, it ties back to your resolutions. Say, for example, if you didn't make them in the new year, you didn't have to, but each day is a new day, and that would help you to make goals for that day, probably, or for the future. So you can make short-term goals or long-term goals. And then this also ties into hope. And by this, I mean, for example, if you feel disheartened by a day of something that you did and you were like, oh, I don't feel too happy about doing this, I'm not satisfied by doing this, or I feel disappointed, or something must have happened, and then you feel like, oh, I feel so I feel helpless or hopeless by this. But try not to feel like that. It was just a day that just wasn't going the right way. You have another day, a new day to make that happen. For example, if you got bad news, you got another day to do another day or the day after that to make it not bad for yourself. You can change that. So here I wrote be hopeful, and the other one is a quote which is hope for the best and prepare for the worst, which I feel is very important. And the last one is if your previous year wasn't good, then change it and hope for a better year. This is one of the things that I wanted to talk about as well. Like some people feel like just because of their hope for the first this year that the previous year that they had wasn't so great, so they feel unmotivated to go on for the next year. You shouldn't feel like that. It's a new year. Like I said, even though I said that you don't have to make goals for the new year, you can if you want to. Goals help you to move forward and to develop. Again, it is one of those things where you need to not feel discouraged. And again, this ties into optimism. So here, what I'm writing is sometimes change can be scary, but staying positive will go a long way. Now, it may sound cliche by saying that, but it's so true. You need to stay positive. Your mentality and mindset needs to have that conditioned feeling of optimism in your life, in your system, in your body, because if you don't feel that optimism, you will never have hope. You will never be so confident with change, you will never want to make resolutions. So optimism is a very key factor in your life that you should all have. And the other point that I made here was, if you want something, try to make it happen. But remember, if it doesn't happen, maybe it wasn't for you. So look in a different direction. Now, by this, I don't mean to say that you should completely give up on the thing that you want. But what I'm trying to say is that sometimes in life you may feel like, oh, I really want to strive for this. I want to get this. I want to get a particular thing, but it doesn't happen. That doesn't mean that it means, oh, I'm not worthy of it. I can't do anything anymore because I don't have this one particular goal or aspect in my life anymore, or wanted and didn't ever get. You should try and encourage yourself to become more better, and maybe go a different angle, maybe go for a different way. You never know, it could come back to you in the future. Maybe you weren't ready for it right now, but you just didn't realize it. But in the future, you may be ready for it. Or it could be that it wasn't just for you, it would have caused you more harm than good, and you just didn't see it. But in the future, you would. I've had many experiences where I was like in a position where I wanted something and it never happened for me. But then in the future, I noticed the reason why as to why it didn't happen for me. So that's why I know that, okay, because at the time I was so upset and hurt and upset and sad by the fact that, oh, I didn't get something, but I realized that it wasn't meant for me to get now or at that point. It was for me to get at the future. But again, it changes for different people. Sometimes you may not get it at all, and that's also fine. So there's been many things that I've wanted that I've never gotten either, and I'm not upset by them. I'm more confident that, okay, if I never got it now, then that means it wasn't for me, or it may happen for me in the future, or I may not get it at all. But it's one of those things where you do not have to feel like, oh, I'm so sad that I never got it. Anyways, I hope that this helped you all to feel a little bit more optimistic. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video. I really, really hope this helped you all. So take care and think positive. Bye.